Yo, what it do, everybody? It's your boy Titus coming at you again with some more Pick 3 lottery tips. All right, guys, as you guys know it, when I come to you in the morning, I give you some tips and I give you some strategies and then I give you some predictions. All right. I'm sorry how the Saturday video came out. It was a little bit different. While I was recording, I had an issue and my video kind of went out, but it should be fine moving forward. All right. So I wanted to talk this morning about understanding when to change if you notice that a change is happening. All right. So when you see a change, especially in the Pick 3 lottery, Pick 4 lottery, things like that, there's going to be a change. All right. From month to month, quarter to quarter, week to week, sometimes there's a change. Like I told you guys in previous videos, you see triples or repeat numbers. That is telling you that something possibly is changing with the lottery where you stay, okay? And I seen there was a bunch of triples over the weekend, all right? So you guys need to be paying attention to see if something actually changed while it was being played. Now, granted, if you're one of those lottery players that's only looking for the numbers when you come to the channels like mine, that won't affect you. But if you're the type of person who have a notebook, you're keeping up with your notebook, you're looking at your workouts, and you're looking at your numbers, looking at your patterns, you're looking at your analytics, pay attention. Look for the subtle changes that might have changed that might throw you off, okay? Now, I saw a change while I was doing my own personal workout. And so I start doing other things to figure out what's going on, all right? So once I started seeing some things, I said, well, let me try other workouts and see. I went back into the first of the month, all right? Once I started went back to the first of the month, I said, man, I might need to pivot a little bit and try some different stuff. So I started trying some different stuff, all right? So I started trying other workouts that I have seen people advertise, all right? Why? Because, hey, guys, we're about to get into the money. And if that might work, I'm going to try it, all right? So after trying several other workouts, other than my 1, 2, 3 and my 3, 6, 9, I settled on the 317. I said, well, let me try 317 here in the state of South Carolina. Lo and behold, got a hit. All right. So never be afraid to pivot. Never be afraid to change your workout. Guys, I have made a lot of money using the 1, 2, 3 and the 3, 6, 9 workout. Is that the only way to get hits? No. All right. It's not the only way to get hits. You can do other things that's going to also produce hits. All right. So, tip for the day. Don't be afraid to change. All right. All right. Let me show you. Okay. In South Carolina, on 8/9 in the evening, there was a hit of 590. All right. So, I tried the 317 workout. Dropped my 590 into my 317 workout. And I did the same thing I always do, right? You add it up till it repeat itself, all right? Now remember, if you're brand new to my channel, I primarily use the 1, 2, 3 or the 3, 6, 9 workout. That's what I use mostly. But in this situation, I decided, hey, in August, let's try something different. So I started using the 590 over the weekend. Took me a lot of weekend to figure some things out. But hey, lo and behold, this one hit. Now, if you start a brand new workout, until you understand the patterns that are coming out of that workout, like I tell you guys all the time, that becomes your base set of numbers, all right? And if you're me, first thing you're going to start doing is looking for patterns, guys. I start looking for patterns, all right? Like, first thing I look for, mirrors and flips and doubles, all right? I start looking for things like that. So the first thing I started doing was looking for numbers that were the same. I had my 1, the 1, the 1. I had my 6, my 6, my 6. All right, I hope you can see that. Then I saw my mirror, 0 and 5. All right, these were my mirrors. All right, so those I had triples and I had mirror numbers. And then I start looking to see, does anything correlate together that makes sense? All right, now, then I see, well, I'm a dub, X's in your workout, right? And to me, that's where your mirror numbers, if you widen it out, right? So you have mirrors, and they intersect. So you got your 3 and your 8, your 7 and your 2. The middle number is a 4. I said, okay, that makes sense. So I started connecting my 7s and my 2s, my 3s and my 8s. Now, it only did produce 1, right? So when I saw that, I said, well, I might need to add to the bottom. So I added to the bottom my 807, right? And then what happened? I was able to connect my mirrors, my 2 and my 7, my 3 and my 8. Again, those becomes my X. Then right? I said, okay, that makes sense. And then what I start doing, looking at my base numbers that connect to those numbers. All right. And I used the date. The next day was 8/10. Right? Remember, Larry Matthew on the keep the right side, which was a 0. Right? So I'm looking for either a 0 or a 5 that come out of those numbers. Lo and behold, 807 is a 5. All right? You come down, the 352 is the mirror, which is the 0. So I wrote down 807, 352. Then I said, what else could happen? Well, it might have added the 8 to that for the date sum, and you would have got an 803, right? And you would have got an 803. And that also connects, right? It also connects to my X. So I said 738, 283. And the 4 numbers I decided to play. Lo and behold, what hit? 807 in the state of South Carolina. All right. So guys, you can figure things out from past knowledge. It's just like playing sports. Once you learn the fundamentals, no matter what you're playing, you can figure little things out. And after I did that, I was able to figure that out. All right. So, like I told you earlier, today's tip is about learning how to pivot. You gotta know when to pivot, guys. We gotta know when to pivot. All right. So that win ended up coming from right here. Yesterday afternoon, 8:10 in the eve. In case somebody want to write that down. It was 807. Why? Because I saw that and decided to play it off the pivot. All right. So take this video, save it, share it, like it, comment on it, and tell me what you think. All right. Because that's how you can get hits, guys, just by, playing around with other workouts. Like I said, I usually do the 1, 2, 3 or the 3, 6, 9, but I decided to do 3, 1, 7, and also was able to produce a hit. All right. So hey, that's what you look at that right quick. Take notes if you need to, especially if you're from the state of South Carolina. All right. Now, let me give predictions for today. Remember, this month here, we're still concentrating on Texas, New York, South Carolina. But these numbers are good for all states, guys. Remember, they're good for all states. For Texas, I like 093, 307, 256, 321. Yeah, I like that 321, guys. I really do. 821. All right. New York had got a hit last night as well from the hot numbers. All right. New York, I like 728, 273, 342, 105, 376. Hot numbers. They being hot. Still 102 813. That 813 really been hot, guys. All right, 719-858-094. South Carolina, 144-696-425. 920 and 926. Cash pop numbers for the day. I like 1, 4, 7, and 14. All right, the numbers I like. All right, guys. These are predictions that I like today. Remember, these numbers are good for all states. All right. It's numbers that I like. Remember, if you play these numbers, you play these numbers at your own risk. By no means that I'm saying that these numbers are going to hit today. But if these numbers right here hit today, these numbers right here, man, jump in the comments and tell everybody where you got that hit from. Man, the Pick 3 Lottery Guide. All right, man. Hey, y'all have a good one. Remember, let's get that money.